This is the village of Southwark. It's doing fairly well since the last episode. We've got a few more barns here and there, and of course we have the lumber camp now, and that means we have a steady supply of timber, which we can now buy from the NPC trader that's now there. So what I was tasked with to do now was extend the village a little bit more here and there, making sure there's enough space for plenty of the new buildings that we now want to build. In this episode I will just be building the flower garden, but you'll find out later on I actually build a bit more than that. Because now with the lumber camp we've unlocked new buildings such as the Fletcher that we also build later on. But the flower gardener, that doesn't require anything. You could build this day one if you wanted to without the lumber camp. But I've decorated a bit more with like wooden fencing here and there to mark out its yard. You can do this with maybe like cobble walls instead, or maybe a fence that's like made of reeds or something of the likes, or a hedge. Oh yeah, as I was building, of course, right through the beginning, of course I was attacked by a band of raiding bandits. Luckily I managed to run away before they got close to me in time, but they did kill me earlier, so I had to get back for my stuff. Anyway, they chased after me over this field, but the militia guards that spawn there, they deal with them, thankfully, so I can run all the way back and continue building. So yeah, just decorating the walls a little bit more with some... using the different types of daubs. I did run out of wood, of course, as well. But if you go all the way back to that lumber camp now, there is a trader there that actually sells wood, thankfully. So I go there to get it. So I did have to take from the king's treasury in order to pay for this, but it's his village. He's paying for it anyway. So, oh yeah, I died. Got attacked by bandits while I was trading. Lovely. Otherwise, I got it back after running all the way back and took the boats and went all the way back to Southwark to continue construction. The king visited there just a moment. But yeah, once I complete this building, there will be a NPC trader called the gardener, or the flower gardener, and they'll sell flowers that you can get from all across Europe, which would be really good for like decorating very wealthy gardens and the likes. You can also get a few dyes from it as well, I suppose, but it's not the dye maker, so it's not the same as that. The dye maker actually makes dyes specifically using all the other like oh yeah, king asking for tax, and of course I give him tax. Oh yeah, this is Oreo here. He's building the Fletcher right next door to me, and they will make arrows there with a NPC trader that sells arrows, which is super useful. Regardless, I finished the interior here and there, making sure it's nice and homely with all the essentials, while also helping with the Fletcher build right next door. The Fletcher house, of course, is a little bit better than the flower gardener. Of course, it's a wealthier business making arrows than it is selling flowers. And the back of the garden there was a bit expanded. The king visited a moment there, as you could see, but he was just after materials for the church he's going to be building later on. And he was clearing land just north of there, on the other side of the road. Yeah, finishing the flower garden off with a nice little torch to light up the interior, but otherwise, now that the garden is there, and the build, and the shed, and the yard, it's pretty much complete. So I just focus on building the Fletcher now, and because it's 2 people, it's a lot quicker this time around. So we're building multiple sheds, we've got a testing range to test the arrow quality there, and building up the paths. The walls or the yard is even bigger because there's so much going on in the backyard of the Fletcher compared to the flower gardener. And you'll find out even more things that we've got yet to build too. So, for example, here I've got the aviaries being built, which gives feathers from the birds there, and in these barns you have feeds and the like. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much the build complete. So we've already got 2 pretty medium-sized builds already there, which is fantastic. We've got this hall, of course. It doesn't count to anything function-wise, but it just gives that nice little homely feeling for the king before we've actually built him a castle. And Mictactor there's gathering materials to expand the town even more, because we may build a toolsmith later on, because Now we can make a toolsmith, not because we have the lumber camp, but because now next to the lumber camp we have a charcoal burner, and those are really important for getting fuel for the toolsmith. Elsewhere in the world, such as Trier, which is in Germany, they're starting to build very early on a quarry, although they do need a few more buildings there for it to work. And whatever this is at the top, we've got some players here exploring, and on this hill in southwestern France, we've got a nice fortified manor being constructed with a mix of stone and wood. And here in Spain, you've got a lumber camp being built too. Meanwhile, back in England, we're taking down all of these buildings because we want to replace it with the toolsmith and other important buildings as well that will really help build the London Bridge. And lastly, I just finish off this charcoal burner camp, making it fit for the requirements. But otherwise, that's pretty much it for this video. I'll probably now have access to work on the toolsmith now, but also the farm fields as well. So that's what I'll be working on next. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.